You can visit the Amalfi Coast for just $100 if you plan your trip the smart way.
We were able to stay in a nice hotel for just $50 a night and visit the famous towns of Amalfi and Positano for under $20. And in this video, we're gonna tell you how.
Let's get into it.
Fun fact, over 5 million people visit the Amalfi Coast every year, but 70 to 80% of tourists go throughout the months of July and August. So that means that during this time of the year, prices of hotels are really expensive. Restaurants are booked all the time, and the area is just super crowded in general. So choosing what time of the year to visit is essential for being able to go at a lower cost. The ideal time to visit if you want to get better prices and less crowds are the months of April, May, June, and September, maybe even October. So avoiding those peak summer months is gonna be key to be able to see this place for less money. During these months, you're still able to enjoy the beautiful coastal towns, hopefully some good sunshine, and you will not catch all the tourists and the chaos of the summer. Beware of visiting between November and March because a lot of the things can be closed. Restaurants closed, some of the tourist attractions closed. So that's why before the summer months is an ideal time. To put it into perspective, a night in one of the towns in the Amalfi Coast during summer months can cost you between 300 and 500 euros. Whilst if you go in the low season, you can find something for as little as 80 euros a night, with the average prices going at 150 euros. Now I know this is not quite the $100 that we promised, and that's when our second tip comes into place. I'll let Nas take you there.
Okay, tap in. Now, the Amalfi Coast stretches quite a lot, so knowing where to stay is super important. Of course, there's Positano, there's Amalfi, Praiano, Ravello, but where should you stay? Well, each of these places is relatively close to the famous views of Positano, but they are small towns, and there's not that many options of where to stay. So of course, prices will go through the roof. Our recommendation is to choose carefully where you stay, and our top tip is to stay in a place called Sorrento. Sorrento is a beautiful town in the southern area of Naples. Now, instead of being in the Amalfi Coast, you're kind of on the other side. Through the sea, you can see the city of Naples, you can see Mount Vesuvius, and the views are just as gorgeous. The only difference is that you're not on the right side of the Amalfi Coast, but it is a short drive away and the prices are much more affordable. Why should you stay in Sorrento? Well, there's 4 main reasons. The first one is the prices. When we visited a few years ago, we went in April and we paid 45 euros for this beautiful flat. And that of course was a while ago, so now you should count for about 60 to 70 euros because, well, inflation. But still, much more affordable than the typical 250 a night in Positano or Amalfi. Secondly, Sorrento is really easy to access. As opposed to the other towns of Amalfi, where you definitely have to drive or take a boat in good season, you can take a metro from Naples directly to Sorrento, and it costs you nothing, perhaps 5 euros. And then from Sorrento, you can take a bus that costs you less than 10 euros to go directly to Positano, to Amalfi, and to every other town in the Amalfi Coast. Reason number 3, the food in Sorrento is chef's kiss delicious. And I promise you that you will not want to miss the pasta alla Sorrentina. Alba was going absolutely crazy over it.
And gnocchi alla Sorrentina.
Gnocchi alla Sorrentina. Sorry, cameraman. And what you need to know is that if you go out to eat in Positano, in Amalfi, expect to pay 40, 50, 60 euros per person. Whereas in Sorrento, you will be looking at maximum 20 euros. Of course, inflation, so prices can go up, but still, very much more affordable. And fourth and last reason in this video, because honestly I can come up with a bunch of reasons, Sorrento is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. We were walking around the town and we actually ended up spending more time than we initially planned. You have these views which are very similar to the ones that you see in Positano, perhaps just as beautiful. You also see the views from the other side which lead you directly into Naples, into Mount Vesuvius. And then the streets that you go through are so traditional, are so beautiful. The food, as I mentioned, is delicious, so you will definitely appreciate spending some time in this Italian coastal town.
So if you're staying in Sorrento, how can you visit the Amalfi Coast? Well, we already mentioned a little bit, but it's super easy. From the town of Sorrento, you can purchase a full day bus ticket for just about $10, 10 euros, and that will take you all the way to all the towns in Amalfi, including Positano, Ravello, Amalfi town, and it is such a gorgeous ride on the bus as well.
The views were absolutely stunning, and it almost feels like an extra benefit being able to ride in the bus through the coastal area and seeing the views from it.
The ride is only about 40 minutes depending on the town that you get off first, and then what you can do is hop on and off the bus to do more stops in the other towns. So it's such a great way to see the Amalfi Coast for a lot less money.
And of course, if you want a different experience, you can also get a ferry. It costs a little bit more. The last time I checked, it was about 25 euros per person.
Yeah.
But it is an option that's out there.
You can get it from the port of Sorrento and it will take you all the way to the town of Amalfi. It must be a beautiful ride as well, but of course also a different experience.
But we told you at the start of this video that you can see the Amalfi Coast for $100. So it's finally time to do a cost breakdown of how you can get there. The first thing is, if you stay in Sorrento, you can get accommodation for roughly $60 per night at the right time of the year.
On top of that, you're gonna have to pay for about $10 to take the bus to visit the Amalfi Coast.
Then, food. If you have food in Sorrento, it will cost you roughly $20. Now, this doesn't involve eating in a fancy restaurant. It can get a lot pricier than that, but it is possible to find good food, Italian food, for that much.
I would recommend to save those $20 for dinner, and what you can do is have a $10 lunch throughout your day in one of the towns in the Amalfi Coast, which is exactly what we did, and that would bring your cost total to $100.
Of course, $100 can be seen as a little bit of an exaggeration. You want to go there and splurge as you wish, but what we wanted to highlight in this video is that there are ways to save money when you go to this beautiful town.
We do recommend to stay for 2 nights, in which case the cost would be over $100, but if you want it could totally be done.
We vlogged our experience of going from Sorrento to Amalfi, and we'll leave the video right here and in the description, so check it out and let us know if you have any questions in the comments.
Make sure to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe because we have so much cool content coming up. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I guess we'll see you in our next video.